Hello and welcome to the Watch Kaki channel, where we bring you all the good and honest watch reviews. And here's a reminder to all the viewers out there, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. In today's video, we are going to do a full review of the Zelos Swordfish 40, and I unboxed this watch 2 months back. I know it's a little bit overdue, but I have spent enough time with this watch. I've tried it on many times over the few weeks, and I really think it is a good time now for me to share with you my thoughts on this watch. The Swordfish 40 is a relatively new model in Zelos's lineup. I think this one here is a year old, this model line. First launched mid or late 2020, and we're currently into the second batch of the Swordfish 40, and I've ordered this one in green. Officially it is known as emerald green, and I must say this shade of green here, the sunburst, really looks fantastic. The Swordfish line actually started life as a 42mm watch. As you can see, it's got really strong design cues, pretty similar to the Seiko Samurai. And in 2020, I think Elshan, the owner of Zelos, he decided to launch a smaller, a scaled down version of the Swordfish, and I would say this one is really a great success. So these watches typically sell out within a day. I think the last round for the Horizons 43, they were sold out like within 8 hours, and I was pretty lucky to get my hands on 2 sets of the Swordfish 40. I ordered this one for myself, the emerald green Hulk, and my friend ordered the salmon dial version, and both of us were very happy with the watch so far. There are no thoughts of flipping the watch as yet. So I'll zoom in the lens a little bit as I talk about the specs of the watch to you. As the name implies, this watch here has got a 40mm case size. It's got a total thickness of only 12.2mm, measuring from the base of the case back to the top of the flat sapphire crystal. And I'll say that's pretty impressive, because for many micro brands out there, typically thickness is an issue because they're using lower grade movements. This one here is the very basic NH35, and I'm just pretty impressed that they have managed to squeeze in everything at 12.2mm thickness. Given that this is a 40mm case size, the lug width has also been reduced. We're looking at a 20mm lug width now, so I would think this is even more of a strap monster over the regular 42mm Swordfish. Lug to lug length here is also very manageable. It comes in at 45.7mm, so buyers with smaller wrists, I think this is no issue at all. The watch here remains very wearable. Just some other information not found on Zelos's website. This one here has got a crystal size of 29.5mm, just under 30mm. I think it's very proportionate for the 40mm case size. And the Swordfish here has also got a really nice sign crown, signed with the Zelos logo here, done in brush finish, radial brushing, and the crown size here is 6.5mm, offering really good grip for you to handset the time or to wind your watch. As mentioned earlier in this video, the watch here is powered by the NH35 movement, so it's technically a Seiko movement inside a micro brand watch, and this combination here is very popular. I've seen this combination in like 80-90% of micro brand watches at this price point. And talking about the price point, this one here, I would say it offers really good value for what you're paying for. I bought this one at the launch pricing of $269, inclusive of shipping. So being a Singaporean, I'm Singaporean, and Zelos is a Singapore brand, and I didn't have to pay any import tax or anything like that. So I'm just very happy with the price that I've paid. This is a fantastic deal for a watch of this quality. So to round off the part on specifications, the Swordfish, despite being a smaller case size watch, it is not exactly very light. This one here comes in at 148 grams with 5 links removed. So just to put things into perspective, the Samurai here, the Seiko Samurai, with 4 links removed, this one here to fit my under 7-inch wrist, this one here is about 178 grams, and this one here is 148 grams. You can see that there's a really massive difference in terms of size, but in terms of weight, it doesn't really come across as a super lightweight watch. And moving on to the case construction and build quality of the Swordfish 40. Now this one here is done in all stainless steel construction. Case, bracelet, everything stainless steel, and most of the surface that you see is done in brush finishing. I'm really happy with it. I have no complaints at all. I love watches with mostly brush finishes. And I must say the overall styling, the construction of the case, it really reminds me of the Seiko Samurai. So if you take a look at all these chiseled or faceted parts here, right? There are no bevels or chamfers or anything, but you see all this faceting and the chiseling of the lugs and the case. So just take a look at how similar they are. This is the Seiko Samurai, and I would say they share a little bit of the same design flow. Okay, so of course there are some differences. This one here, the crown guard, I actually prefer the crown guard on the Zelos compared to the crown guard of the Samurai. This one here looks less refined than this, I think. And in terms of case side profile, I actually prefer the one on Zelos. Okay, it is angular, but the lugs here, they angle downwards rather dramatically, and comparing to that of the Seiko Samurai. So this one here, less of a curve on the case, and overall it, the Samurai or the Swordfish, they both wear very well. But if I put both side by side, you will see very clearly that the Zelos here does have a nicer side profile, and I think this would actually give a more wrist-hugging feel when you're wearing the watch. So plenty of different brushing strokes found on the case itself. At the case side, we've got vertical brushing, so you can see the brushing lines go this way, vertical. Top of the lugs, we've got circular or radial brushing, this way, circular, and then finally at the end link here, back to vertical brushing. And over here there is a bit of a angling on the inside of the case here, and this part is left polished. So overall I would say very interesting case design on the Zelos. The Swordfish 40 is topped off with a really nice brush ceramic bezel insert. I think this one here looks really good. Okay, I'm a big fan of such matte finish on ceramic bezel inserts, and I think this one here gets full marks from me. So at the bezel here, there's no coin edge or any knurlings, right? But have no fear, the grip here is still very good. The clicks here is a 120 click bezel, and the clicks here are very good as well. There is no gasket feel that you get with Seiko watches or higher end Swiss watches. I think this one here just feels like the clicking feels very hollow. Okay, but I think it does the job really well. There is no misalignment of any sort. And now I'd like to bring your attention to this bracelet here on the Swordfish 40. Alright, this thing here, for this price that you're paying, I think this is a really great deal. We've got a full solid bracelet, solid everything, solid links, solid end links, solid mill clasp in terms of buckle and scissors, everything well built, no folded parts or stem parts or anything like that. So also just take a look at how well these links articulate. They are true individual links, if that's the word to use. Okay, they are not made to look like individual links. Okay, so again, this is very different from the usual Seiko stuff, where the links are actually one piece. It is a one link, one piece, made to look like a three link on the outside. On the Zelos, you really get a true individual three-part link, and I think at this price point is pretty amazing. Okay, so I just like to share with you, even watches that are many times more expensive, you also do not get individual links. This watch here, Okay, I'm sure you're very familiar with it, but just take a look at the links. They are not independent. They are connected, or they're sort of a fake individual links. Okay, so I think you should be very happy. You know, for US $269, you're getting true, well articulated individual link bracelet. So there is no quick adjust system here. Alright, this is not the same as the Swordfish 42 whereby you get that quick adjust. You just use your fingernail to activate the quick adjust. Over here you've got a 6 microdot adjustment. I think, you know, this is pretty justified for the price that you're paying. And just like many new Zelos releases these days, they've got this quick release for the bracelet. So all you need to do, if you want to change out to a rubber strap or NATO strap, all you need to do is just pinch these 2 tabs and then you're good to go. Moving on to the dial design of the Swordfish 40 here. This one here is a sandwich dial. This is widely advertised, and I think, you know, for watches at this price point, I think again, if you're getting sandwich dial, I think no one should be complaining. Alright, we should be very happy you're getting a nicely built sandwich dial. And of course, this is the green sunburst. It is listed as emerald green, but under certain lighting, it actually looks a bit like a fumi dial kind of effect. Okay, so under studio lights here, definitely is a sunburst. In natural light outdoors in the sun, sometimes it does look like fumi dial. And you've also got a white, pure white chapter ring here. And this one here is fully Lume. So later on we're going to take a look at the Lume shot and see if this is a bicolor Lume. So the painting here on the Lume, it is matching. So these ones you see on the bezel insert, the ceramic bezel insert, the Lume here matches those of the hour markers as well as the hands here. Very nicely done. And you know, I think this one here, it shows the attention to detail that Zelos has put in their designs. And I know I've mentioned this in my unboxing video. I just want to, you know, do it once again to show you, when it comes to attention to details, I think Zelos is doing a really good job. Just take a look at the matching date wheel here. Okay, we've got a green dial, we've got a matching green date wheel. Okay, this is not black, it's green. I'm very impressed because, you know, many times you see big brands, small brands, whatever brands, they can't be bothered. Okay, they've got 4 patina Lume, and then suddenly they, you know, smack a pure white date disc. You know, can't be bothered, just put on whatever stock parts they've got. But for a small company, a smaller company, if I may say so, right? A smaller brand like Zelos, they bother to match their date wheel. So my buddy got the salmon dial version. That one has a date disc that is also in salmon copper bronze color. So this is just fantastic. And overall, the dial prints are kept to a bare minimum. You've got the Zelos logo in a circular one, really nicely embossed. Alright, so it is not very prominent. Okay, in fact, from certain angles you don't really see it. Okay, I'm not too sure if that's the desired look that Elshan wants for the brand. And over at the 6 o'clock area, they've got the Swordfish 40 model name. Alright, so really nicely done, and we get to see some splashes of red in the Lume tip of second hand, as well as the dial prints at 6 o'clock area. So overall, still a very clean dial design. If you take a look at the bezel insert, there are no minute markers, so very clean look overall. Alright, unlike this one here. Okay, this one here is more of a diver tool watch kind of look, where each and every minute is marked out, and over here it's got a cleaner look, and I think it works really well. And it is also worth mentioning that the part where the bezel insert meets the crystal, okay, over here there is a steel part here, alright, and it is done in a 12-sided shape. I don't know the name for a 12-sided shape. Okay, I know octagon, hexagon, but we're looking at a 12-sided shape here. I really don't know the name. If you know the name, please let me know. Done really nicely, reminiscent of you know, the hex screw kind of shape, and again this one here lends itself to a more toolish design, and I think it is done very nicely. So I've just charged up the Lume with my UV torch. I'm going to switch off the lights and show you how bright this one lights up. And here you go. As you can see, the Lume here is just fantastic. Super bright Lume. I think Zelos is, you know, definitely catching up when it comes to Lume quality. This has probably exceeded Seiko Lume standards and really nicely done. So I think the chapter ring here previously was white, was done in BGW 9, and now it glows to a blue color, bluish, and our markers, hands, bezel insert, they're, you know, glowing green. I think that one is C3. So overall, very impressive. Just looks great. Now let's look at the wrist shot of the watch in natural light. As you can see, this watch at 40mm case size, this is like in the sweet spot, and there's absolutely no overhang or any lug gaps. I would say this one here very comfortable to wear, fantastic size. And for size comparison, let's put the Swordfish beside the Seiko Samurai. So you know, they have very similar design cues, with all the angled cuts and chiseled sides. So obviously the Samurai is a way bigger watch at about 44mm case size. Thickness, we're talking about 12.2 versus 13.5. So also nice to see a side-by-side comparison with one of the smaller divers I have with me in the studio today. This is the To The Black Bay, and this one here is 39mm case size. Thickness wise, they're about the same. We're looking at 12mm for the Black Bay versus 12.2 for the Zelos, and I think, you know, these two watches, they really fall into the same size category. Okay, so sometimes it looks as though the Swordfish is that bit bigger, okay, but I think overall they wear quite the same. So overall, I would say the Swordfish 40 here, you know, it is a really great watch, and I'm just so happy to have it in my collection. Okay, it is not very expensive. Okay, launch price $269. You're getting a lot of watch for the money. Good construction, really nice bracelet, quick release strap system, all solid bracelet, really good lume, superb wearability. Alright, but this one here definitely has, you know, its fair share of issues, and I really think the brand should just sort out these issues before the third or fourth batch is launched. So first, I'm just going to talk about the clasp here, or the buckle. Okay, so over here, plenty of sharp corners, sharp edges. Okay, so these areas here, you just take a look. Okay, so these places here, they're, you know, not too nice on your hands, on your wrist, on your fingers. So if you're not careful, you're wearing a watch this way, you see, and you try to slide in the watch, so all these areas, you know, it causes a little bit of discomfort. Same for when you're removing your watch. So if you're taking off your watch, when you pull and you slide out the watch, and you know, all these things, they are in contact with your skin, so, you know, not a very nice feeling. So perhaps the brand should look into refinement of these areas. And here's a very minor complaint from me. I really think the hands on the Swordfish, the entire Swordfish series, I think they are a bit too big. They're a bit too broad for the overall design. Just take a look here. The hands are way broader than the hour markers. Okay, so even the borders, they're also very thick. Okay, I'm talking about this silver areas here, okay, framing the lume paint or the lume part. Okay, I think, you know, overall the hands are just a bit too broad. So there you have it. That was my review of the Zelos Swordfish 40. This one here is in emerald green dial configuration, and it's making someone very happy in the studio. And I must tell you that this watch here, it's a great watch. Okay, I would go as far as to say this is a steal. Alright, it's a steal deal. You really need to get it before they up the prices, which I think they should. They have a right to up the prices because it is really very well made. It's a very good package for the money you're paying. All right, it definitely has some kind of weakness here and there in the pieces that I've come across. Even for my friends, the one with the salmon dial, this one here, the clasp area here, plenty of sharp corners, sharp edges. Okay, so here the quick release tabs here. Okay, they really need some attention. Okay, and I think with all these things sorted out, this one here will be a killer watch. Okay, many reviewers are saying this is the Seiko killer, whatever Orient budget brand killer, and I must say I kind of agree with these reviewers. All right, they're not wrong in saying that the Zelos watches at this price point, the 300 to 350 US dollars price point, they are really, you know, thrashing the Seikos in terms of specs, build quality, and all that. The only thing that, you know, is left for you to decide is the overall design and the looks. Okay, some people may not like the design here. They don't like the logo, they don't like the hand, they don't like the sign crown, whatever. Okay, they don't like the look of the bracelet. So all these things are pretty subjective. Okay, so must tell you that the Swordfish 40 is a really great watch. Okay, wears so well, very good price. Okay, so this is the Watch Kaki. I'm going to see you next week. Until then, bye bye.